Good morning. I'm just going to give you another walk around the van. I came out to this rest area. A little bit too noisy and hope for me. I like quiet. This is my little setup here. It'd be nice if I had the back made into a pantry where I wouldn't have to go back inside to get the food, but this works good for me. Say hello, Max. So that's how I'm all set up here. I'll probably be here for about a week. This is the camping area. Very beautiful here. I've got the river down there. All right. Get to put the phone in my brand new camera holder. Beautiful. Thank you, brother, for sending that donation, because without that I wouldn't have this camera holder. But anyway, I was reading the reports on the site last night, and I believe we're coming very close to the time where we're going to have to get out of the cities. And that's the first mandate that God would give us to prepare us to come together in community. The first prerequisite is to get the revelation of Jesus Christ in our hearts. That poem that I sent out a few days ago, that is the whole mandate. If you read it and reread it and reread it, you eventually get the revelation. But it's going to take, getting back into the Word, right? You have to get back into the Word. You need to spend at least 2 hours a day in the Word and read it and read it and read it until your mind and your heart comes into alignment. And when that happens, you'll find that the Word becomes alive in your spirit, not just in your mind, because the Word has to go down into your heart in order to bring forth the life of the kingdom. You have to get that flow going there. So that's the mandate that the Father would have today, so that his children can begin to prepare. And as we seek forth the kingdom of God, seek forth to come into the revelation of Jesus Christ, it prepares us to come together as a people. And so the time is coming, I think, very shortly. I think we're right on the precipice where the Lord is calling an exodus from the cities, and for us to come together in temporary camps outside the city. I know many of you already have these camps set up, and in the Spirit I can see that you haven't taken the full step yet, and that full step is where we need to come together in camps of 12 families. That would be the start. That's the smallest camp. What the Lord gave me in the last couple of weeks about taking these shelter systems and building the floor on it. This would be the start. So you could make 12 of these shelters and put it around a center point, around a yurt in the center, and that would be your common area, and you have camp, right? But we can't do this unless our hearts are in the process of being transformed, where we come in to the love of God. We become the manifest love of God on earth, and that's the reasons why we're here, right? And it's going to take more than just going out on the streets, pounding the streets, with the Bible. It's going to take the revelation of Jesus. People will know that you've been with Jesus because you got him in your heart, and he's shining out like a bright and shining light. It's not church anymore. Church is now going to cut it. The doors to the church are going to soon be padlocked, and it will, what's happening in Russia. You can read your Bible at home, but you can't have meetings, right? You can't. People can't come over. You can't have meetings. And so, the Lord is calling us out of Egypt to come together into these Goshen camps. And this is just a temporary place so we can get our act together. And at the proper time, the final resting places for these Ark communities will be given, but they're not going to be revealed before it's time. But first, we have to show the Lord that we're worthy to escape all these things coming upon the world, and not to be taken out of the world, but to be an example of all those that are around us, become a strong witness. And the time will come. I think we're coming into the second year of what Chuck Yembrandt saw. He saw a timeline leading, he saw 3 years leading up to the 7 final years, and I believe we're coming into the second year next year. So we're going to see 120-degree temperatures across the land. We're going to see major shortages. And so families that are working in the cities won't be able to afford to live in the cities anymore. They won't make it. And so that's where we're at. So, keep the camps, not limited to, but the smallest camp would be 12 families on 1 acre, using the plans that the Lord has given me. This is a start. And right now, you out there in different states, around the states and around the world, start networking with 2 other families that are on the same page. And you might be around, say, Cincinnati or something like that. Network with 2 other people in that area, and ask the Lord the best place to set up outside the city, and work toward that goal. Don't try to connect with a whole bunch of other people. Just start with 2 other families, and sell your homes and put your resources together. So there might be an older couple that has a home. Sell your home and put half the finances into a family fund, and that's going to work. There might be somebody else that doesn't have any finances that they're renting. Well, you can downsize, but all the money goes together into one pot. Half the money to take care of the needs of everyone, right? That's the love of God. That's what the first century Christians did. And money is a tool that God has given us so we can use to come together into community. And so my time here, well, I'm just spending a week. I'm waiting on a job. I don't know if it's guaranteed or not. My friend gave me the job to do security work on top of the mountain. I'm hoping to be able to take my RV up top, because it's going to be for 2 months if it goes through. That'll give me time to write the book and get all the data that I've collected over these last 15 years to make it into a presentable form. I've got about close to 90 or maybe 100 gigabytes of data that I'm going through and filtering and cleaning up, and got lots of stuff that the Lord's given me over the years, right? Starting back in 1988 with the revelation of the Project David, of the diversified approach, visualizing isometric dwelling. And so it's not for me. I've been diligent, I've been faithful in what the Lord's called me to do. Now it's time to share with you out there. He's also given me the technology for unlimited heat, for taking normal fuels like gasoline or alcohol and be able to transform it into the third state of matter, where you can take normal fuels, so you can release 10 times the energy that's in the fuels. But it's going to take you men out there to get to first jump in and learn to replicate the Joe pipe technology, and from that you can make your heaters, because the process itself has been proven out to be 300% more efficient than the best heating systems in the world. A friend that I taught 6 years ago on the Joe pipe technology, he has now 12, over a dozen world patents, and getting more patents all the time. And I kept telling him, it's not for fame, it's not for glory, it's not for money, it's for the places of refuge. And for you men out there, start looking in at a lot of the hundreds of videos that I have on YouTube on the Joe pipe technology. Jump in, get your feet wet, and I can guide you as far as how to develop the various processes. And once you get your feet wet and get an understanding and a feel for it, then you can begin to build upon it. And I'd just like to give a warm welcome to everybody out there in these communities around the world, especially in the United States. I know that the time will come where God will open up a door where I'll be traveling to different places with a truck and camper, and getting these places of refuge established. And this definitely is an open door that God has put on my plate. And having met Jeannie and all that, she's the one that God is using to open this door, for God's glory. Go end it here. This is Joshua Taylor coming to you from here outside of Hope, British Columbia, Canada.